loans that we have been taking before in Nigeria. Nigerians are concerned that the loans, what you see is the debt stock rising. You don't see the effect in terms of development outcomes. We have borrowed up to, we are going to borrow up to 94 trillion. And yet, we're told that the roads are not, they have not been fixed. Debt of 6 trillion with federal roads alone. Schools are not in a good shape. Lecturers are not getting what they want in terms of their standing agreement with the federal government of Nigeria. So what do they do with these monies that they borrow?
Tinubu is seeking for more loans, a total loan that will be accumulating up to 7 trillion naira. This is different from the loan of the 2024 budget that will be funding the budget, of which, if you look at the money, the loan, the debt rate of Nigeria now, which is around 87 trillion, we are looking at taking another 27 trillion in loan, adding it up to that 87 trillion to amount to over 100 plus in trillions. So now, when you look at the, the development project that loan is meant for, it's not seeable. Okay, according to the president now, in the presentation for the National Assembly to grant him permission to collect 7 trillion loan, to fund education, to fund, what do they call it, healthcare.
Consequently, the required approval is in the sum of United States dollars 8,699,550,000, and for the euro, looking at a total of 100 million euros. I would like to underscore the fact that the projects and programs in the borrowing plan were selected based on positive technical economic evaluations.
As I said the truth, the one that Muhammadu Buhari collected for the past 8 years, what did he do with it? He collected loan. They will say, yes, this loan was used for rail, it was used for this, but are those things functioning?
In the last 21 years, our debt profile increased by over 600%. I'll read a very exciting thing to you this morning. It might shock you. There is a news article from 31st of July 2021 in the Cable. It says, from Obasanjo to Buhari, our federal government's debt profile surged 685% to 26.9 trillion in 21 years. Jonathan was leaving power. The debt stock was about 12 billion in dollar terms. Today surged to over 50 billion in dollar terms. That's the kind of country we've built. But in all of this, ask, what did President Buhari do with all the money he borrowed? I'm sure they'll probably show you a real line. A Ibadan to Lagos rail line with all of its challenges, and the train stopping in the middle of the road because of no diesel. Kaduna rail line that we couldn't put in security infrastructure and people were kidnapped and a doctor died and many other people died. I'm sure they'll show you real lines. What else? They'll say roads, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Yeah. What else? They'll show you other infrastructure projects. How does this affect the people? What have we done with all the money we've borrowed? We've squandered riches. We've printed more money, we've borrowed, we've increased the debt stock at the detriment of Nigerian people. And that's why we're asking more questions from President Tinubu. What are you going to do with this money you want to borrow now? Because the supplementary budget the other time was to buy luxury cars and a couple of other things. Don't we feel sad that a position like the wife of the president, we're buying luxury cars for her, is not stated in the Constitution? Why do you need to do it? The president's wife said, oh, we are not coming here because we need your money. We're already rich before we came in here in the first place. They could have afforded their cars.
And expect to get a different result. If we want, to get a good result out of the loans we are collecting, then we need to put them into use. But when you look at over 3 trillion naira loan collected for, the supplementary budget, and you discover that at the end of the day, they were taking this money to purchase presidential yachts, to buy exotic vehicles for the wife of the president, to spend almost 28 billion on vehicles for the villa, renovation of villa, among others. By taking all these loans to buy all these exotic things, now, what do you expect them to do, if they collect this money for the 2024 budget or even the loan that he's requesting for right now? If they grant him the permission now, what is the probability that if he gets this money, he was going to use it, to do what he's actually saying, through the bill to the National Assembly? Yeah, Robert Abati.
Loans that we have been taking before in Nigeria. Nigerians are concerned that the loans, what you see is the debt stock rising. You don't see the effect in terms of development outcomes. We are going to borrow up to 94 trillion, and yet we're told that the roads are not, they have not been fixed. Debt of 6 trillion with federal roads alone. Schools are not in a good shape. Lecturers are not getting what they want in terms of their standing agreement with the federal government of Nigeria. So what do they do with these monies that they borrow? That is the question. Because when the debt stock continues to increase, the Nigerian people are already overburdened. It will add more to the burden of the people. The economy is not productive. There's no real productivity in the economy. How do we make this economy productive? What are we borrowing money for? The other problem also is that if you look at the supplementary budget, in that supplementary budget where the government was asking for about 2.7 trillion additional funding, the controversy was about government wanted to buy a yacht. We don't know the status of that yacht now, although we're told that it had been ordered, it had been delivered. 28 billion was going to be spent to buy luxury cars in the villa and renovate, places within the state house. And Nigeria said no. At a time that Nigeria is facing serious austerity, government officials must also be seen to be tightening their belts. It's not just the people that will make sacrifice. So these loans, we imagine, of course, that the Senate will approve, given the character of the Senate, as some people have also argued on this platform. But what are they going to do with it in specific terms? Government needs to worry more about productivity. Government needs to worry more about making this economy more productive. Government needs to worry about tightening its own belts and generating more revenue. Not necessarily through taxation, but I guess more through productivity, through investments, attracting investments, which the president has always been talking about.
It will take a very long, it will take a very long time for Nigeria to come out of this accumulated loan, money collected here and there between the last government and this current administration. If only they put them into use, and then we can say dividends of this, then we can say, okay, fine. It is high time that, yes, we collect more loans, because collecting loan is not a problem, but what you're doing with the loans, I know how you pay back is the issue here. What do you think? Let's react positively here.